hear what findings are from the legal.
Okay, so based on the terms of this committee, in order for there to be the removal as chairman, there will have to be some sort of neglect or misconduct allegation, and then it would be deferred to ethics. And then the ethics committee would make the call on the direction to go from there.
And that's based on what?
Robert's rules.
So even though we
62,
appoint the chairman, we cannot remove the chairman. It has to go to an outside board.
It's because of the way the terms run, yes.
So if we voted to suspend the rules, could we do that and then vote that way?
I don't think you can vote outside of the rules.
When I read through the rules during the, I mean, it wasn't Robert's rules, it was just our standing rules. It was basically just this committee appoints it, this committee,
That's true.
so.
And if the terms were different, then it would be a 2/3 issue. But because of the way these are designated one-year terms, that's the section that this falls under.
Said it was 62-16.
Yeah.
This is the fifth edition? 12th edition, sorry. Way behind on that one.
What was that again, the number?
6216. And what it does is it refers you under the term scenario we've got here, it refers you to 63 as far as how to deal with the individual if, for the allegation of neglect or misconduct.
What edition do you say that is?
12th edition.
So there has to be an ethics complaint.
It could either either come out of this committee or it could be made directly to the ethics committee.
Okay. So Commissioner Smith, do you want to make an ethics complaint?
No, my intention though was to bring citizens' concerns to the table tonight.
Do you
Again,
feel like it's a neglect of duty in office, I guess is the question, because it doesn't have to be misconduct.
I mean, I feel like there's a concern that I have, yeah, but, you know, for the, I don't want to,
If reading this, that's the way that we could have a vote, neglect of duty in office or misconduct.
well, I do have concerns, yes, that there was, and this is public record on emails, that there was several times that he was asked to stand down on a situation for safety reasons. So what I'm bringing to the table
That was
tonight
one
is
day.
concern.
I second that
No,
motion.
I'm
so
just saying,
we've got a motion and a second on the floor.
I have a responsibility though to citizens if they have concerns to bring this forth. Like I said, I hate that it's come to this, but you know, after this last episode with the library books, this thing is really, you know, citizens are asking more questions. Like, you know, you have one thing happen and another,
Neglect of duty.
it's concerning. That's,
Was it neglect or misconduct? What did you
Neglect,
say?
he's saying.
Oh, I didn't hear you, okay.
He's saying neglect. I'll second that so we can vote
So-
on it.
I just want to be clear what the vote is, that it gets deferred under neglect of duty to ethics.
That's not the way that this code reads. An officer can be removed from office only for cause, that is neglect of duty in office or misconduct.
I understand that, but if you go down to 63, and plus our standing local rules are that we have a committee to deal with those issues.
Our ethics committee deals with neglect of duty also.
Yes, anything related to commissioners.
I thought it was just for ethics. I apologize.
And that's why I asked if he wants to lodge an ethics
well,
complaint.
you know, I don't know if you can really identify it as neglect of duty as more of a reckless behavior for safety of our students. I mean,
Commissioner Smith, that was up for maybe about 6 hours. It's not at my direction either. I did not direct those pictures to be put on.
well, then you were
Okay.
asked to take them down
I
by the
did take them
director of
down.
schools several
They were
times.
taken down. Within 6 hours.
Not until I had to call
6
IT.
hours.
I had to call the IT department to have them taken
No,
down.
you didn't do that.
Yes, I did. I
No.
called the IT
They
department
took
and
it
asked them to
down.
remove.
They took it down.
Yeah, because I asked them to.
No.
Well,
It wasn't
you can say no all you want, but I know I made that phone call.
You
because-
may have made that phone call,
And
but
they-
it didn't originate with you.
Well, I
It was whenever, one of the school board members showed me that they were up on the website. I did not know they were up on the website.
They want supplemental
And
information.
then, whenever he showed me they were up on the website, that's when I directed them to pull them down.
Was that before or after you told me that I was usurping your authority to do that on a text message? When you said I was basically overstepping your authority by.
That was
calling
probably
IT.
afterwards, yes.
I just, hearing that today, I had no idea that. I know I called the IT department, asked them to remove those pictures because that was putting a target on our students' back, our teachers' backs, the safety of that school. It
And
was
here
just-
we're talking about this in public right now.
Well, you brought it up.
Well, no, you brought it up.
I just said I had a concern.
That was
with
one of
safety.
your
I wasn't giving
concerns, and we don't
specifics.
not need to talk about this anymore. I was reserving this for a private conversation.
Well, the public has a right to know.
I understand,
Whether
but
they like-
you were the one doing it now.
Well, it's coming up because I have concerns because citizens want to know why these things are happening. I have to answer to the citizens.
Okay.
I think at this point, folks, we've got one or two choices. Either move forward with an ethics complaint, or we need to move on with the committee meeting. One of the-
There's a motion and a second for, that should be still, because I haven't heard anything as to why it shouldn't be voted on.
Because
For the original one.
Because there's nothing that says the ethics, there's nothing that says what the ethics and conduct committee members are responsible, like, bringing them involved is, I think that's grasping.
263, Rule 63.
So based on the term section, it doesn't even discuss the voting part of this under 62:16. It tells you to refer to 63, which is an investigation and a trial based on the misconduct and neglect of duty.
Okay.
And this body has established the ethics committee to do that.
So if there's a file complaint, then there could be an interim chairman. I mean, I don't know. I disagree with the ruling, because it doesn't, nothing you said has convinced me that that's the way we operate. I mean, Mr. Hyde even stated this has never happened to his knowledge in 31 years, and I overheard him saying we need to, and I agree, add something to our rules about it going
I
forward.
don't disagree. I'd
Yeah.
love the clarity.
No, I agree. I mean, I agree with you. So I think we all agree that.
Could a chairman voluntarily step down? Like, is that
That's always an option.
That is an option. Okay, that's what.
I'm curious on this particular section here, removal from office, is that an officer or is that a chairman?
An officer is a chairman. The chairman is an officer.
Could be. I'm just trying to get some distinction here, if that's the case.
The distinction I'm seeing in the two is the way the terms are defined. If the terms are coterminous with their cycle of their election, it falls under one category, or if it's a committee like these, which are fixed terms, are all one-year fixed terms. They can be reappointed, but when y'all are reappointed, you vote for a chairman again, and a vice chair, and whatever other officers of that committee that you need. That's what this falls under, and that's what takes us right into the investigation and trial portion of it.
Okay, well, my feeling is this, we don't need to sit here all night long and discuss this. It will be going round and round. What happens, just lay it all out on the table here. What happens if the body overrules the decision of the parliamentarian or the legal counsel?
It wouldn't be the first time, so I just
Well,
give
I mean,
advice.
I just don't know, I'm asking.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. We probably need to suspend the rules if we're gonna keep going down this road.
Well, this is what bothers me, is I don't know where we are on this right now.
Yes, if I'm merely a conduit of legal advice. Whether y'all choose to follow it or not follow it is entirely up to the body. I work for y'all.
Well, in the case of the county commission, I wouldn't want anyone to misunderstand the two differences. We do not have a parliamentarian. You advise me,
Yes.
and I either take your advice or not.
Correct.
But most of the time I do. But
Majority.
it's, we do not have a parliamentarian. I'll make the decision after being advised.
Yes.
So we could override the rules, override what was stated and still take a vote.
The original motion is on the floor.
Can I make a statement here? And I hate that this is the way this is happening, but I was very upset that with this body, because I come up here for education to the committee meetings, we voted unanimously to pass this on the budget, on these books. Dr. Langford made the statement, this is a whole lot worse than a book in a public library. If you're a parent and you're not monitoring what your children are doing on social media and the phone, I could put one word into Google and it's a hell of a lot worse, Bob, or anybody else, than anything in the library. So I hate that happened, and I hate that what we did was it was taken away in the budget committee. I understand that you voted for it, and then Matt Schoaf, the committee chair, voted not to take it off. But then all of a sudden, in the full commission, it suddenly appears back on the agenda, which is very untransparent. What happened between budget and full commission? You know, I'm not here to waste my time, just like you're not or anybody else is not. But what comes out of this committee, whether I agree with it or the chair agrees with it or anybody else, it should go to budget, and we should all be on the same page. Now, we can debate it when we get to the commission floor. That's a whole nother scenario. But what I do here, to me, is important, and my vote should count. Your vote should count. When it gets to budget, then if the money's in there, then it should go to the full commission. The money was in there, period. And, you know, so, yeah, kids don't have the library books when school starts. I can understand we have some upset parents. But this right here is our problem. Not 100 books in the library that we think have a bad word in it, or talking about I can type one word here and get much more off of a bad situation than things that are in our library. And I do think that's important. But I'm going to echo what Commissioner Schmidt said. There are school board members that run to be school board members, and their job is to follow school board policy and state law to make sure that these books are not in our library. It's not our job. Now, we do control the purse strings, I understand that, but we have very little say-so on that. That is the school board who is elected by the citizens of this county to represent them to run the schools with the director of schools. That's my opinion. I was disappointed in that, but at this point, I mean, we can sit here for an hour, but I think at this point it would be prudent. We've got 2 months left, and committee appointments will be made. So, I don't know how this, if we vote on it, that's fine. I'll cast my vote, but we've got 2 months and committee appointments will be made. And I don't know, there's a lot of gray area from what I'm hearing from legal and Chairman Hyde, and just, you know, I don't know how this would play out if we voted on it, if it would even stand. I don't know.
Well, this is certainly new ground for me, but I would just say I'm not one that stays on my telephone looking at who put what on, what website, or, I have no idea. As a matter of fact, I wanna confess, I don't know what you're talking about tonight. I really don't, because I don't waste my time looking on the websites and seeing what's posted and what's not posted, so if anybody's critical of me, you may want to call me and tell me that instead of putting it on our website. I don't know what happened
Mr.
here. I
Hyde,
don't know.
The concern was, and I'm not pointing this at Mr. Brown, but the concern is that on a Facebook post, it said that Commissioner Schmidt was given a blank check for pornography for our school library, somewhere along. I've got the screenshot, I've saved everything. Why that is spiraling out is probably what I'm assuming you want to know. Well, I spent a number of hours talking to citizens evidently that was up long enough. So I spent talking to citizens, that wasn't the case, what the process was, that the school board picks those books. You know, I was not going to be a babysitter to the school board and say, well, you can have this book, that book, this book, because that's not my thing. I mean, I'm not a school librarian, I'm not a school board member. Well, that gets out of control. People want to know, all right, then we fast forward to the county commission meeting, the last one we had. Why did Commissioner Brown bring it to the agenda? It was their question. I said, I don't know. I said, because at the end it was grouped and approved, and that was it. I don't know. They said, well, shouldn't he be communicating with you all as a chairman? I said, yeah, I would agree. I said, I had no idea. You know, another commissioner was going to add it to the agenda, but he was already informed by yourself that it had already been there. I said, so the breakdown in communication, the concern is how could someone throw shade at you, meaning me? False, and again, he didn't make it. But how can they do that? He knows about it, but then there's nothing ever said. Why, people are confused,
Well, I
It's,
understand what you're saying.
1 minute.
I did not know. I did
Well,
not
And
know.
1
like I
minute
said,
you want
I
us
think,
to.
can we round this back?
No,
Yeah,
one
I-
minute
I
you
would
want
like
us
to finish this up,
babysit the
first of
school
all.
board and.
We've heard this 3 times, Don, okay?
Commissioner Brown, would
Now,
you consider voluntarily stepping?
No, I won't.
Okay.
We
Then
can
I would like
absolutely vote.
I would like to make a motion that we actually vote on this and then be done with it.
Second.
Those in favor?
Of voting on it or
Yeah,
voting on?
of
Voting on
question.
it. Those in favor?
Of voting on it? Aye.
Hey, I'd like to,
Aye.
Aye.
I don't know what we're voting on.
We're-
To
we're
send it
moving
to
it.
ethics or
We're
No,
moving
we're
it.
voting on, we're voting
We're
on,
voting on if
we're
we
voting
vote.
on voting.
Voting
to-
on vote, yes, I will vote to vote.
Yes.
Sorry.
I vote.
Yes.
okay? So, we're voting to remove or lodge an ethics complaint.
No, we're voting to swap, to ask you
Chairmanship.
to, yes, remove chairman, or swap chairmanships.
Okay.
The original motion that was made from Don.
Okay.
I did, I seconded it, to vote on it.
What are we, Sarah, I want to be clear, what are we voting on?
The motion is for Mr. Brown to be replaced by me
Okay.
as chairman. That's the motion, right?
Yeah. Well, true, the vice chair
That's not the motion.
should,
It's not the motion, and it's not the responsibility. So there's a motion and a second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
No. No.
So 4-3.
4-3,
4-3, yes.
Simple majority rule.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to the other one, it was a 2/3, wasn't it?
This is a motion. This is a
Just a,
standard motion.
it's.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I understand, but I still want to say that applies,
To the
that's
full
the
committee,
vote.
the full commission to vote on, everything else does.
No.
How can you do that?